Hello? Been a hunter Terry, I got Bachi. I got a mic on me. I don't know if I'm gonna continue to use this mic or if I'm gonna just use the audio from the camera. I don't know. But we are here with no, I was gonna say with a TV video. I'm thrown off, girl. This has been a day. But I am here today bearing a Housewives review. And I'm actually filming it Monday morning, okay? Monday morning, could you believe this? Usually I try to film it like Tuesday and have it out by Wednesday or Thursday. But everything's moving a little faster today, honey. Any which way, we are moving this season quite along. I think this is episode 9 that I'm here reviewing with you guys. Thank you guys who showed up every single week. Okay, thank you to the people that come into the comments and be like, girl, I don't even watch this show, but you are entertaining, so I'm gonna watch you and you making me wanna watch the show. Shout out to all y'all, love y'all down, okay? But any which way, we're gonna roll the intro so I can get directly on into today's video. So this episode opens up with stand-up comedy from Cynthia Bailey, okay? She is going from group to group investigating what happened on the last night at the Nashville trip.
So now I have to do some investigating with all of the ladies to see how it all went to hell, child.
Cynthia's giving Kenya more. She's trying to get to the bottom of what the fuck happened last night. So her first group, she meets up with Shamila and Kelly, or Shamia and Kelly, okay? She also has 2 solo interactions with Angela and Portia. So while Cynthia is sitting with Portia, Portia is denying everything, girl. Deny, die with a lie.
You would have sex with Charles. I actually don't even remember saying it.
She's saying that she would never screw anybody's husband. And she don't even remember saying anything like that. And I'm just looking at her exactly like the faces I'm making. I'm like, okay, whatever, girl. So then they flash it back to Cynthia sitting with Kelly and Shamia. And Shamia reads this long text message that she got from Angela where they end up fast forwarding through Shamia reading the damn text message. I'm telling you, the text was longer than her country song last week, okay? That goddamn text was 5 pages long, girl. They sped it up, slowed it down, sped it up, slowed it down, sped it up, slowed it down again, and she was still reading text messages, girl. Angela was dragging, baby. I don't know what she said because everything was fast, but girl, she had to be going the fuck in. So after Cynthia gets finished investigating all 3 parties or 3 groups, honey, she says that the only thing open after midnight is legs, the ER, or jail. And that's why she's in bed. I started hollering. I said, girl, that's the conclusion of your investigation. Is that your conclusion of your goddamn investigation?
The only thing that's open after midnight is legs, jail, and the ER. And that's why you need to take your ass to bed early.
Bitch, I was hollering. So then she ends up telling the girls that she has a barbecue coming up, a Bailey Q. And it's going to be a little earlier this year. Usually it's on 4th of July, but this time she's going to have it on Juneteenth. Okay, so I take it they still in June. So she invites, you know, all of the ladies to the Bailey Q. I can't even, it seems like a fucking tongue twister. Any which way, they move over to Cha-Cha's birthday party, which is Kelly's dog, okay? She has a dog that is painted pink, and they have a birthday party. So every dog in Buckhead is out at the park, okay, right now, and they having a ball. Now, Kelly and Britt, they end up stepping away from the rest of the girls or the rest of the dog owners, and they're having a conversation. The conversation that they have is genuinely boring. They end up having like a quick gossip session about Britt's mom moving in with her. Then they talk about Cynthia's barbecue coming up. Now the next scene, Portia's still at her mama's house, okay? She's still filming at her mama's house. Nothing wrong with filming at her mama's house, but I'm just like, damn girl, y'all supposed to have been sent that, whatever y'all supposed to send to Simon. That was about 6 episodes ago. So in come Portia's into her mom's house. She has a dog, okay? And she gives the dog to her child or her baby, PR, I think. And PR is so unfazed by this dog. I don't know how long they actually had this dog because PR's look like she done seen the dog already, girl. She's like, okay, this nigga again. It looked like Portia brought the dog back from the vet. It didn't seem like the baby was getting a brand new dog. It's just, you know, because baby, I remember I used to be hollering. I got me about 4 dogs in my lifetime and I hollered out 4. I was like, ah! Girl, so, I don't know. PR is giving very much unfazed. But Portia ends up, you know, collecting her mom and her sister, and they go off to the kitchen to have a quick gossip session. Now, in this gossip session, what is all discussed? Okay, she explains that she's still upset with Dennis and Drew because, you know, they went behind her back to film and this, that, and the other, you know. Okay, I'm tired of that. We as fans, we need to be able to vote storylines off. At the end of the week, we need to go to the Housewives app and be like, we don't want to see this next week. Edit it out. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of it. But she moves the conversation from that to, you know, the situation with Angela. Okay, she's saying, you know, I may or may not said this to Angela about Angela's husband, and her sister is eating it up. I never really could stand Lauren. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I live with Portia. But any which way, Portia is, you know, explaining to her mom and her sister about what's been going on for the past week or so. After that, we have a scene with Shamia. She ends up, you know, speaking with her past surrogate, and then she ends up meeting her new surrogate. But the scene after that one, this is a pretty good scene for me, okay? We have Angela and her husband, Charles, okay? I live for Charles. I live for Charles, okay? The reason I live for Charles is because one thing about him, he just grills and drags. So I live for Charles. So they have this scene with Angela and Charles, and they're all working out. Now, as they, you know, the workout comes to an end, the conversation becomes to a beginning. Okay, girl, they get the conversation fired up. She's explaining to Charles about, you know, what's been going on in Nashville. And she goes forward and she explains to him, like, you know, I invited Drew because Portia and them had like a little situation. I wanted them to kill it. And Charles is looking at her like, no the fuck you didn't, did you?
Portia was upset that I invited Drew.
Charles looking at her like, I know the fuck you did it. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what is he about to say? He opens his mouth, and of course, it seems like he's defending Portia. He's like, you know, I kind of understand. And she's, girl, Angela, my little mother-in-law, she flipping her head around, and she's like, ain't no fucking way. She says, what did she say? Let me just ask my husband what the haters think, because, you know, he has a hating mindset. She says anytime she wants to figure out what the other bitches on the other side is talking about, she'll bring it to Charles, because usually Charles can always see the other bitch's side.
He loves to play devil's advocate. So much so that I look to him to get the opposing side's viewpoint. I'm like, you know what? Let me just ask my husband what the haters think. He'll tell me fresh off the top of a hater's head.
Look how she hates that.
Go ahead, girl. I live for Angela. So, after she gets finished dragging him in, you know, real life and the confessional, they move the conversation to what Portia said about him. Angela said, Portia just made it seem like you were so easy to fuck. He said, wow.
Like, you're just so easy to
Then Angela said, she said that she can just fuck you. Charles said, wow.
Anybody can Charles. She can you.
Wow, you believe it?
What do you mean by that?
I said, this all that nigga got to say is wow. What the fuck going on? He wow. I feel like that worked my nerves more than damn, that's crazy. I hate a damn, that's crazy. But Angela goes forward and says, you know, honey, she's gonna be seeing Portia soon. She haven't seen her since Nashville. And Charles says he wants a front row ticket to the Cynthia Bailey's barbecue, girl. He wants a front row ticket. He wants to see how this gonna go down. The next scene is Portia still at her mama's house. And this go around, she done bought somebody. Not brought, but bought. Okay, she done bought somebody from South Africa. And she's some type of nanny girl. Portia says she's better than a nanny because she gonna be with them every day, all day. And I thought this was nanny. I don't know. Above my pay grade. It's above my pay grade. Some shit you just can't understand till you're there. Okay, but I won't understand right now. I don't understand. But she, you know, says she has this something, okay, that she got from South Africa, and she's gonna be, you know, helping with Pilar. So, of course, everybody's about to meet this sweet girl, and they have the mom there, the sister there, Dennis there, the Pilar there, everybody's there. Okay, the girl comes in with her one bag. I'm like, damn, where her shit at? But she comes in there with her one bag, and she introduces herself to the people when they chat and mingle, okay? Moving on to the big scene, okay, the big dog, the big step up, which is the scene with Portia and Dennis, okay? Portia pulls Dennis to the side and she asks him, like, you know, why was you lying I got a call from Jimmy the Cricket, and he told me that y'all ass have been filming you and Drew. And he's and then she goes forward and says, and Drew was trying to sleep with you. And she's reading something on the phone. She's reading on the phone, so she's like, and Drew's trying to sleep with you. And he's like, what? Let me see.
You said that she tried to sleep with you.
When I say that?
That's right.
And she snatches his glasses. She said, well, let me use these motherfuckers.
Let me use your glasses.
What?
I'll show you.
She puts his glasses on and she reads the text message, and the text message just says, you said all you had to do was say yeah. And then it said, yeah.
Hold on, what?
You said, well, all you had to do was say yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think. You said, well, all you had to do was say yeah. So she tried to.
What the fuck is your yeah have to? What does that? Ooh. Now, after that scene is completed, they flash us over to Britt, honey, and she with her family, and they're talking about her mom moving because her mom is, getting a smaller place because her husband died a couple years ago. And Britt's sister ends up getting emotional while she's on the phone with one of the other sisters, and it's just, it's just a mess. Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna move on to Cynthia Bailey and her Juneteenth barbecue, okay? The first person to arrive is Britt. The next person to arrive is a prophet. Prophet immediately starts reading Britt. I don't know, maybe I'm just a super holier than thou girl, not really. But I just, I know my good Lord up there and he holding it down. So I don't be wanting to know what the hell's gonna happen in my future. And sometimes I just start laughing at bitches who be telling the future because I don't know, sometimes I just don't be believing them. I just don't be believing the prophets, honey. But any which way, the prophet gives, her to read, and the rest of the girls follow. Now, as Kelly is getting read, honey, the prophet ends up saying something about, Kelly's car getting took away, and, Kelly gags. She gags. She's like, I didn't tell anybody that but Britt. And I'm thinking, Britt been here the longest. Britt probably whispered in this bitch ear.
What did he try to do with the car? He did that to be vindictive to you.
Oh my God.
That's why he sold it.
Girl, shut the fuck up. You thought you ate that?
Nobody knows that. I literally only told Britt.
Any which way, we're gonna move on, okay? Angela, okay? It's time for Angela to get read, and when she's getting read, the prophet says, there's some things going on, and, your marriage, and I need y'all to go on a vacation, basically. Seek each other's company. And then the prophet goes forward and tells Angela, basically, go get her some shit from Victoria's Secret. Go get you some new bras, bitch. Go get you some new panties, oh. I said, what type of prophet is this, motherfucker?
I need a vacation or something. Sometimes we lose our sexy for our man.
I said, this shit is crazy. Then she asks, does Charles have a Porsche?
Who has a Porsche?
The girls are gagging, I'm gagging. I don't know if this prophet is real or fake, but I can tell you this is a real fucking mess. It's messy, bitch. Because Shamia jumps in and she says, did he have a Porsche or a Porsche? Bitch, I'm crying.
He got an eye on a Porsche, right? Not Porsche. Stop it.
Baby, the prophet says, girl, he on the lookout for a new Porsche. He got his eyes on something. But any which way, the next person to get read by the prophet is Shamia. And as the prophet is trying to tell Shamia about her, her future life, honey, the girls are taking shots. Cynthia Bailey is, girl, face on the motherfucking, table. Face on the table, getting her shot, baby. These bitches are taking shots, and I'm keying down. Shamia feels so disrespected, honey. But in comes Portia, okay? Portia comes in. The girls are super duper quiet, including Angela, girl. They end up sitting Portia beside Angela. Angela says, Portia gets nothing from me. Nothing. I mean, nada. And I was crying.
Portia gets nothing from me. Nothing. Until we address the elephant in the room, which is Nashville. She gets nothing. Nada.
Okay, any which way, like I said, Portia has walked in, honey. They try to read Portia, but her reading was trash, okay? By this time, Drew arrives as well. When Drew comes in, she tells the girls that, she's not gonna be read in front of everybody. Y'all do enough reading in front of everybody. I'm not joining. So she hands it over just like that, and I'm okay with it, honey. Now, as this conversation, or as the prophet is coming to the end, baby, we have Britt ready to get this conversation back rolling, okay? And she tells Angela, I felt like the prophet was, was kind of spot on about a couple things with you. And I'm like, girl, what the fuck are you talking about? So was Angela. She's like, what the girl? I don't see anything. What was she right about? Okay, that's what Angela's giving.
I think the prophet might have been spot on a little bit. What do you think?
About what?
Angela then goes forward and says, you know, is there something you want to tell me, child? Is there something you want to say, Britt?
Did you have something you want to tell me? Because the energy.
And Britt says, do you not read the words that are coming out of my mouth? And Angela says, I should be able to understand what's going on in that big ass mouth. Bitch! Of course, Britt, girl, claps back and she says, maybe you should use your mouth more often. And Angela says, oh, not as much as you, with those stretch marks around it. I said, oh my God. I said, damn, bitch.
You not read the words that are coming out of my mouth.
That big ass mouth, I should be able to read
Big
the
ass
words.
mouth?
Yes.
It sounds like you need to use that mouth more often. Okay.
Ooh, I do. Not as much as yours with the stretch marks around it.
When I tell you, I got up and I started clapping. Bitch, I got up and I started fucking clapping because it was like, girl, they is working it for me for this to happen in Cynthia Bailey's house because everything about this show feels new. We have a new cast, but for this iconic scene, because I feel like this scene was iconicness, okay, to happen in Cynthia Bailey's house, a location that feels so, home for us. It feels like something we've been seeing. Like, this is a house she's had for a while. It's been some great scenes happen in this house. We had Nene in this house. So it feels like at home for us, and these girls are going at it. I'm living, girl. They is tearing this green couch in, girl. I'm living, I'm eating it up. Angela is telling Britt that, you know, she has mouths on her mouth. The girls are gagging. Shamia is me. Her mouth is wide open. She got on her, the sickie. Baby, she Wakanda. She got on her Wakanda Forever gear and she's gagging, honey. We have Drew on the other side of the room saying, you know, I don't deal with that. I gotta protect my peace. I gotta protect my peace. I gotta put me first. Lucius, she is surely putting herself first before Lucius, okay? And I'm living. But as things die down, Drew does go over there and she checks on Angela and they have a quick little conversation, but it's not too deep. Cynthia ends up breaking Portia and Angela away. She moves them to another section of the house so they can go ahead and have a conversation. Now, the conversation is really tiptoeing around each other at first. Portia's kind of tiptoeing, Angela's kind of tiptoeing, but they finally get the conversation crack-a-lacking. And Angela says, you know, I want to know what happened after 3 a.m. And Portia says, it was a complete after party. Bitch, you know damn well that ain't what the fuck she talking about.
What you walked up on was a complete after party.
That is not what she's talking about. Portia said it was a complete after party. You know that ain't what she's talking about. She talking about Charles. She want to know what happened, what you was talking about with Charles, okay? Portia knows she ignorant. But Angela is standing on business, okay? Angela reversed it back and she says, you know, I want to know why you said you would fuck Charles. Portia really doesn't know what to say. She tells Angela that she's supposed to be asleep.
Why would I want to hear behind my back?
Girl, it wasn't behind your back. Your ass supposed to have been asleep.
The response is that Portia is giving, I live for you, Portia girl, but I would whip Portia ass. I would have been up over that coffee table, bitch. Because you playing with me, bitch. Oh, you playing with me, and not only are you playing with me, you playing with my marriage, and then you playing with me in front of all these hot ass lights and these big ass cameras. I'm about to whoop your ass. Like, there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. This bitch is playing. This bitch is kicking. Portia, like I said, Portia said it wasn't behind your back because you were supposed to have been asleep. But this conversation is just, girl, it's going nowhere. Portia's playing. She's really playing. And they end up like coming to a little mini agreement about it. They both kind of equally apologize to each other, hug it out. But that's what happens, honey. Cynthia comes and she gets Portia on out of there, and as Angela's about to get up and leave, she holds Angela, hold on, because we got another round for you. And she brings in Shamia. Now Shamia comes in, honey, and Shamia's just thoroughly confused. She's like, hey, what was that text you gave me the other day? What was that text about? Angela's like, you know damn well what that text was about. That text was because you sat outside as a married motherfucking lady and let this other bitch disrespect me and my marriage as a unity girl, and you're not supposed to do that. Even if it's your friend or not, you're supposed to say, hey, calm down, bitch. You know, I'm a married sister too. Shamia says, of course, you know, that she just felt like Portia was playing and joking, and, you know, she didn't feel like she needed to jump in, and she always laughing at other people.
Okay.
Child, what is this? God, what is this? But that is where the episode kind of ends. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Make sure you guys tune into my live. It should be Tuesday. I'm gonna try to get this out, but I want to have an open discussion with you guys. Okay, we're gonna do a quick little live stream, so make sure you go over and click the notification bell on the live so you'll be notified once I start the live, so you don't miss it, so you can talk to me. We discuss what happened in this last week's episode. But any which way, I love y'all. Make sure you guys be blessed, be safe, and thank you guys for watching. Definitely if you made it to this part of the video, bye.